Hey guys, this is Danny Kim from Canada Archery Online, and today we'll be talking about Bulldog Target, the DogHouse Field Point Edition. Now, like many of you, I've also been shooting from home due to the COVID-19 outbreak, and even though some of the archery ranges are starting to open up, I feel like with social distancing still being enforced, it may be hard for you to still get a spot at your local range. So having said that, it looks like shooting from home may continue for a little bit longer as part of your archery training routine. And going back to the target, I do have the Bulldog targets, the DogHouse Field Point Edition Plus series in front of me right here. This target spans 24 by 24 inches and it's about 9.5 inches thick and it weighs about 24 pounds. Now for you metric lovers, that's about 61 centimeters across, 24 centimeters wide, and 10.8 kilograms. Now I did roughly shoot about 700 arrows into this target, and so far so good. It's the stopping power of the target for the price that you pay for this size is not bad. It's also a breeze to take the arrows out, unlike let's say a new Danache target where you kind of have to fight the target to get your arrows back a little bit just because it's stuck in there. These ones I felt that there were no problems. I even cut out a little bit of the target face off just to see what the inside material would look like. And it feels like a really tough yet somehow comfy pillow that's been stuffed into the target. The one thing I have to mention here is how loud the target is when it's being shot at. So if you do live in an apartment like I do, or if you do live with someone else, or if you have pets or babies, that might be something that you have to consider. Keep in mind, once you do wear it down in about 72 arrows in one of those circular spots, the noise does get a little bit quieter, but it is still loud compared to some of the other targets, let's say Warhawk for instance. Now Bulldog targets actually claim that with the Plus series, the arrow removal is so easy. In fact, after shooting, you can basically pick up the target, turn it upside down, and arrows will fall out. I gave a little quick test for that, and it didn't work. But the arrows do come out relatively easy anyway when you pull out the arrow with normal means. Other than that, for the price that you pay for the size of the target that you get, along with the lifetime warranty that's included with the target, it's not a bad trade-off. I've also invited Natalie Chan, Stephanie Barret, and Andrew Azores to say their 2 cents regarding the target as well. And here's what they had to say.
Hi, my name is Natalie Chen and I'm on the Canadian National Development Team. And for the past week, I've been shooting with the Bulldog Target's DogHouse Standard Target Bill. This bill feels like it was built pretty solid, so I think I'll be able to get another 5 years or so out of it. I also really like how it's square. So I'm able to turn it around whenever I need to so I can get maximum usage. I haven't had any issues with it so far and I think it's a great product. In conclusion, I'm really glad I bought this target bill at such a great price and I'm really happy to be able to shoot with it.
Hi, I'm Stephanie and for the last 2 weeks I've been shooting this Bulldog Archery Target's DogHouse Plus target. The things I'm really enjoying the most about the target is it's easy to move around. It's light, it's not too big, but it's large enough that I can shoot anywhere from 3 meters to 50 meters. Additionally, its depth, it's about 9 inches deep, and on my 40-pound recurve when I shoot around the middle of the target, it penetrates about halfway. When I'm up in the corners, it's a little bit deeper. The only shortfalls for me on the DogHouse target are, one, as I mentioned earlier, the corners, you can get a bit extra penetration on them. And two, the face is really tight when it's brand new. But after a few shots, it's easy to pull arrows, like 2 fingers and they come out. Occasionally, the tips might get stuck on the face and they require a little bit extra pulling, but otherwise, not a problem. Overall, this is a fantastic target.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and here we have a Bulldog Targets DogHouse FP, not the Plus, just the regular one. What I really like about this target is it does a really good job of stopping your arrows the vast majority of the time. I'm shooting from basically where the camera's positioned, maybe 2 meters away from the target butt, with a 45 to 48 pound recurve, depending on which lens I'm using that day. And I'm shooting X10s, which have a pretty small micro diameter, so they should be able to penetrate pretty deep into a target. And for the most part, this target does a really good job of stopping those arrows, which for the past month has been great to have that ability to shoot at home, even from close range. I also like that once the target is fairly well broken in, the arrows impacting the target is pretty quiet. When the target is brand new, if you shoot a brand new spot where there are no existing holes, you can kind of hear the arrow punching through this woven plastic sort of target face. But once you've broken them in a little bit, like you can see I've done in this top row, it's really fairly quiet, which is also great when you're shooting indoors at home. I also really like the portability of it. It looks fairly large, but it's really quite light. I think it only weighs 20 pounds or so, so it's pretty easy to pick up and take with you. But it's also at the same time large enough that if you want to take it out and shoot it in a relative's backyard or somewhere in the field, assuming you're doing this where it's legal somewhere, it's large enough that you could do that. It's not some tiny target that can only really be shot from up close. So that's great. For me, where this one falls short is that sometimes depending where you shoot, the target can be a little bit grippy or grabby on your arrows, and it can be a little bit hard to pull them. So sometimes they come out fairly easily. We'll see if I can find one here that's a bit tough. It seems like it's just the material inside. This one's tough. It just, for some reason, grabs the arrows a little bit tight sometimes, and so it takes a little bit of effort to pull them out. But what always helps in that kind of case, just like you'd use at any other target, is having an arrow puller. To me, that makes a big difference. And the only other complaint I really have is that sometimes, and it seems like it just depends on where on the target you shoot and how kind of broken in the target is, sometimes the arrows do actually go a little bit too deep. Now, I've never had a real pass-through, like where the arrow totally comes out the other side, but I have had cases where the arrows go all the way, fletchings deep into the target. So if I force this one through, I've seen them go, probably about that far, and I'll show a picture on the screen here of how far that arrow is sticking out the other side. So you can see, hopefully from the camera, that I had this set up so that it's well far away from the wall, just so that if an arrow does penetrate far enough to almost come out the other side, then I'm still not going to hit anything. So that's something to take into consideration, is if you're buying this target, although it doesn't let the arrows pass totally through, my experience, I still wouldn't put it directly right up against the wall or anything else. But overall, I think it's a really good target. It's portable, it's affordable, it does a pretty good job stopping arrows, it's relatively quiet. It's hard to really ask for more, especially at a very affordable price point that these come in at.
And there you have it. The DogHouse Field Point Edition Plus Series by Bulldog Targets. Boy, that's a long name. Anyway, if you need to be shooting from home to keep up with your archery training, this is one item that I would actually recommend for the price, as long as you know you're going to be okay with the sound it's going to be creating for the first little while. That's all we've had for a review. We hope you're doing well, stay safe, and catch you next time.